What's up, people? It's your boy, Chris Don One, and I am back with another video. Rate, comment, subscribe, and since you already subscribed to my channel, you might as well hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when my next live stream or video goes down. Later on today, I'm gonna be streaming some Fortnite on this channel, okay? And we're gonna have some more content, content galore coming up on this channel. But with that being said, let's get into today's topic at hand. If you haven't seen The Walking Dead premiere, mid-season premiere, I don't know why you're waiting, okay? Great episode, okay? It sort of tied up a lot of things that happened in the opening season of this year. Now, before we begin, I'm gonna let you guys know, spoiler alert, if you have not seen The Walking Dead, this is not the time to I'm gonna be telling a lot of things about this episode, so I'm gonna give you like a couple of seconds to leave. If you DVR The Walking Dead and you're planning on seeing it later on today, you should leave. All right, I'm not promoting people to leave, you know, particularly when it benefits my channel when people are actually watching these live streams. But if you haven't seen The Walking Dead, I'm about to drop some bombs. All right, let's start with the biggest thing, and it was advertised and promoted before they went on their hiatus that Carl got bitten by a zombie. Now, when The Walking Dead went on hiatus for like a couple of months, the holiday months, we all knew what was going to transpire from this storyline. Carl was going to meet his maker, and the actor who plays Carl, you know, he's growing up. He's talking about going to college and having a normal life, okay? You know, but you know, it is what it is. So they had to kill off his character some kind of way, and this is the way they chose him. Carl got bitten by a zombie trying to defend, I forgot the other individual's name, the doctor, and he's going to be a new member of the Walking Dead crew with Dale and others, okay? So that's another character that's going to have his own storyline. We heard tidbits of his past, particularly about his parents and the decisions he had to make for his parents, all right? Particularly last night's episode. And last night's episode was a tearjerker. Now, Carl had these flashbacks, and these flashbacks have been going on since the beginning of this season. All right, we early on we really didn't know whose flashbacks were these. Okay, a lot of people started you know, guesstimating, well, who's having all these flashback dreams. All right, and for those out there, Carl's dad was older, had a beard. His sister was growing up. Everything was pleasant. If nobody wasn't fighting zombies or fighting one another, it was one of those types of dreams. But one thing stood, and you know, one thing that we kept seeing in these flashbacks, we really didn't see Carl in any of the flashbacks. So you know, people started putting two and two together, saying, well, maybe these are Carl's imaginations, his dreams, right? And that's what, you know, we called it midway through that it was Carl doing the dreaming. But if you haven't seen the season of The Walking Dead, one would assume that well, it's probably somebody else dreaming like this. Okay, so Carl got bitten. Negan and his crew was after was after everyone. Everyone had to hide in the sewer. Because there was really no place to go. It was either die there or hide in the sewers, and they had to hide in the sewers. Now, they had to wait until they were done searching for them and destroying everything, and that's basically what they was doing while they was in the sewers. Pretty much burning the whole town down. That town is not going to be livable, by the way. All right, and if it is livable, it's going to take a while for that town to get back to what it once was. Okay, the gates are totally destroyed. A lot of the houses are not livable. Okay, they just burned it down to the ground. And as they were down in the sewers, Dale, as well as Carl's dad, and I keep forgetting his name. I had it in my head, now I done forgot about it. They were plotting on their next move, which was to form as one big complete group in Alexandria. And that's how Negan and his crew, throughout the beginning, well, throughout the past couple of seasons, would get the best of them, because they were always split up. They were always split into these 3 towns. And even I said, well, wouldn't it be best if they were all together? Okay, maybe if they're all together, Negan will have will proceed in a different way. And Negan knew that, and that's why he was never the aggressor when it came to trying to destroy the towns, because the towns were benefiting him by keeping them all separate. They were all under Negan's eye and Negan's watch, so to say. And all 3 of these towns would do whatever Negan wanted them to do, so that way Negan won't come in and take over and kill people. You know, Negan. You know, when you pay attention to Negan's character, he was a character that believed in and instilled in we are Negan. In other words, we are family. All right, and Negan was smart enough to know if that type of scenario spread it to these other towns, and they started forming and you know, becoming one group, that would probably be not too good for Negan. So Negan was benefiting when all 3 of the towns were separated. All 3 of the towns had like a different agenda. All right. I forgot the leader for Alexandria. He had a beard. He would do whatever it took to keep his title, keep his town healthy. And he would tell the townsfolk, well, if it wasn't for me behind the scenes trying to make Negan happy, we would have been dead a long time ago. Now Maggie knew from Jump Street that this was not healthy and this wasn't benefiting the town, and Maggie took over. Okay, but as well as Jesus had mixed feelings about him as well. So between Jesus and Maggie, they collide. I mean, they were together, and they knew that the way how they were living in Alexander wasn't good enough. Okay, so last night Carl died. Okay, which wasn't a great secret. Okay, it wasn't like you know, this was new and this was a total shock and this came from left field. Everyone knew. I don't know why my thing is showing. Well, that's neither here nor there. Everyone knew that Carl was going to die in the mid-season premiere. Okay, and he killed himself with a gun because the father couldn't do it, and I forgot her name. It starts with an M. Anyway, she couldn't do it as well. Carl's father's girlfriend. I had her name, now I done lost it. But she couldn't do it as well. So Carl killed himself. All right. That was really the only thing plot-wise that was going on. Carl wrote these letters to everyone. Sort of like a will, so to say. And the first opening of these letters are going to be his father next week. He's going to open up the letter that Carl left for him. And Carl was even telling his father that in his dream he evolved into so much of a better person. He went back to his old ways back when he was in Atlanta. You know, even back when they found the prison and they was trying to live in that prison. He was hoping for his father to go back to those times, okay? Be that same man. And the father said, well, I did all of that for you, Carl, and for your sister and for everyone else. I didn't really necessarily do that for me. You know, that was the type of person I was. And the longer and the longer we stayed in this zombie apocalypse world, my attitude and my mentality started to change. Instead of trying to find a safe haven, so to say, we were just surviving, okay? Because there's no place safe on this planet as long as there's zombies around and as long as there's other people out there with different agendas. Because there's a lot of people out there with different agendas that you know, are not the best people. They don't want to work with one another to you know, have something of their own, okay? And that's what he was trying to explain to Carl. All right. Hopefully the letter that he reads next week, it may change him, but I don't see that. I see Rick. I finally figured out his name. Yeah. I see Rick reading that letter, and all that letter's going to do is make him more upset. Okay. So you know, Rick is on this mentality of killing Negan. He thinks the only way we can get past Negan is to kill him and eliminate him. All right. Carl thinks that even Negan can, if he feels like Rick and Negan can work with one another, and he illustrated that in his dream. He was walking. If you paid attention to the flashback, when Rick was, I mean, he had Rick with a beard, older Rick. And they're in this new town. It looks like it's Alexandria. A lot of houses are now built. It looks more modern day than Alexander is today. And they were saying hi and hello to everyone. And they also ran to this crop, and Rick's daughter said hello to this stranger, and I knew it was Negan. All right. And Negan turned around and said, hello, darling. So this dream that Carl has, it may not be as realistic as he thinks, okay? And you have to give him, you have to understand, Carl's state of mind is he's leaving this earth. He's dead, okay? So he's gravitating to more of these dreams, and dreams are illusions. Just because you have a dream doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come in into the fold, okay? So as that was going on, Morgan infiltrated one of the towns that Negan's group was holding, and Morgan was basically trying to save the king. Now, as he was infiltrating in, he noticed that one of the kids that he was training also ran in. So now he had to proceed a little differently. Okay. Now, Morgan is on this one-man tour thing of he feels like, and if you remember The Walking Dead in the past seasons with Morgan, Morgan had this mindset of he had to I gotta get a better light, man. That's not no good light right there. No sir, no ma'am. Morgan is on this kick of I have to kill everything, and he was like that with the zombies when Morgan was first introduced. And that's still not no good light, but that's fine. We'll just move someplace else. Man, it's hard doing these things, you know. So Morgan is on this kick of I got to kill everything, okay? Which Morgan had this type of mentality with the zombies, all right? 2 years ago. Now he has transitioned from I have to clear everything out with the zombies to, well, now I got to kill Negan and his crew. Negan and his crew is up to no good. So I have to get rid of these people. All right. Now, Morgan's mindset is kill and destroy. This is better light, but I can't park here. Kill and destroy. All right. He's on that kick. All right. So Morgan found one of the Negan's underbosses, so to say, one of the people Negan promote to get his orders and commands in. And I think this is probably going to be better light. Yep, better light. So Morgan is on that kick. All right. Now, he found one of the bosses that was holding the king hostage. All right. And they're trying to calm Morgan down to not kill this guy. And they almost had Morgan. But then Morgan snapped out of it and said, hey, I got to do this. He's getting ready to kill one of the underbosses. And the kid that he was trying to find, when he saw him in the compound, the kid killed the guy. Morgan is now, I think, after witnessing that, I think Morgan is coming to the conclusion of, okay, this is not healthy for me, and this is not good. This is not what I was placed on this earth for, to clean everything, to kill everything. So he's probably progressing back to to that state of mind. All right. So you're probably in next week's episode, or in the next couple of episodes, Morgan's gonna probably have a talk with this boy. And this is one of the boys that he's been training. All right. Now this can go two ways. Either the boys that was training under Morgan adopt his attitude and start doing what Morgan is doing, and then that's when Morgan forms his own group, or Morgan talks these boys down. All right. So we're gonna have to wait how that storyline translate. All right. Other than that, that was pretty much all that was going on in last night's episode. Those were the two big storylines. Carl dying. Morgan's back to his old state of mind like a couple of seasons ago. And the group now forming. That was pretty much it. It was an hour. I think it was an hour and 20 minutes. You might well just say an hour and 30 minutes with the commercials. Maybe a full hour without the commercials. Or maybe an hour and 15 minutes without the commercials. A lot of tear-jerking effects of the way how they did when Carl had to execute them himself. They didn't show that scene, and I'm pretty sure they made a scene where Carl took the gun, shot his own self, and that's probably going to be in the DVDs, the Blu-rays, and things like the collective edition, showing different endings. But the way how they illustrated last night's ending, it wasn't Walking Dead like, the way how they normally do things. They showed it. They gave Carl a little class, because he's a teenager, for one. And basically Rick and I forgot her last name, started with an M, but I forgot her name. They was outside waiting for Carl to pull the trigger. He pulled the trigger, and they went in, and they put Carl in a grave, okay? And they buried Carl, all right? And I thought that was the best way to do that. Carl said his goodbyes to his immediate family, to Rick. I don't want to say her name is Messina, but I forgot her name, as well as his sister. And now Carl is out of The Walking Dead. The actor who played Carl, you know, he's growing up, man. You know, as a, you know, I'm pretty sure when he was little, it was awesome being in The Walking Dead when you're little, okay? But now when you're becoming your own man, sort of say, and you don't want to be the act, and the funny thing about Hollywood is, when you've been on a television series for a long period of time, you get this stigma of that you can't never escape. Oh, you was on that show, that famous show. A lot of people, when The Walking Dead is finally done, a lot of people are not going to necessarily get those top roles, okay? That's why a lot of the major actors who be on these successful shows, they start branching out into different things, like making movies, movies from from networks, from you know, like ABC, CBS, USA, whatever, videos and things of that nature. They start branching out into other things because they don't want to be known as the actor or the actress that used to star at this top show. And that in Hollywood, they kind of want to keep you in that same mode, okay? I'm pretty sure Carl, the articles I have read from him, I don't think he's into Hollywood like that, okay? I think he wants to have a normal life and be around his friends and go to college. I think that's the best thing for him to do, all right? So it's one of those things. I really did enjoy it. They sort of tied up a lot of loose ends. Next week, Rick is going to try to collide with Negan. That's probably never going to take place next week. I think they're going to try to spread this thing out some. I think the few little tidbits of next week's show, it seems like there's trouble in paradise, sort of say, with Negan and his group, okay? So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes down. But all in all, it was a very good episode. And, it was a tear-jerking, emotional roller coaster. Carl died. They found the king. Morgan contemplating his decisions. And, it was a great show. A lot better than last year. The first couple of episodes of last year, it was kind of stale, and it was you could tell that they were putting more ingredients into the storyline, trying to stretch the storyline out, okay? But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Dom 1, and I am out. Deuces, guys.